In this video we're going to be using bevels as a reference point. Bevel's an octagon shape and it's got 8 sides starting from the front. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For your forehand grip you usually want to have your index knuckle on bevel 3, so like that. The first shot I'm going to be describing is the forehand swing. For this shot you want to be hitting the ball in the middle of the racket. You want to start side on and hit the ball when it's about hip height. You want to have your swing with the racket really high at the start so you can get a good follow on. And when you use this shot is when you're in a rally usually, so you can keep most control of the ball. When you hit the ball you want to be hitting it like in the middle and you want to have all your weight on your back foot. The next shot I'm going to describe is the forehand slice. For this shot you want to hit the ball side on. You want to have your racket open, which is angled back. It's just called an open racket. You want to aim for the bot, like just below the net when you hit it. And this shot's usually used in defensive play. You want a little backswing with this shot as well, not a big one. The last shot I'm going to describe is a forehand top spin. For this you want to have a closed racket, which means your racket angled forward, and you want to be putting your weight on your front foot. Forehand top spin. For that shot you want to put your weight on your front foot, you want to be aiming for the back lines, and you want to achieve to have the ball with forward spin on it, so when it hits the floor it has more speed.
For the one-handed backhand you're going to have to look at the bevels again, and there's 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For the one-handed backhand you're going to want to have your knuckle in between bevel 1 and 2 like that. For the one-handed backhand shot you're going to want to hit the ball when it's at hip height. You're going to be side on and your racket head's going to be facing the net, and you just use this shot within just trying to keep a rally and control of the game. And if you're not confident enough doing a one-handed backhand, you can resort to doing a two-handed backhand, and you have your strong hand at the bottom on bevels 2 and your weaker hand at the top on bevel 3. It's a demonstration of a two-handed backhand. For the backhand topspin you're going to want to be standing side on and hit the ball when it's just that sort of diagonally in front of you, and you're going to want to lean into the shot, hit it on have your racket on an incline. This is called closed racket, and this is for offensive shots. It's a demonstration of a backhand topspin shot. It's a backhand slice, and this is used for defensive shots. And you're going to hit it when it's side on to you, and it's just for breaking down play. And you're going to have an open racket to get more spin on the ball.
This is for the serve shot. Firstly, you want to have your knuckle on the second bevel. So that's first, as we've explained before, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So no one's there. So for 2 for right-handed is there, 2 for left-handed is there. So you want to have it here. You want to be standing behind the baseline, like towards the centre. You want to throw the ball around a foot above where your racket is. And you want to try and hit the ball at the highest point as it goes up. Your hips should always be facing towards the post that your strong hand is. So I'm right-handed, so I'm going to be facing towards the right. For example, the same as left post. It's like when you're coming back down to hit it, you want to have a slight bend in your elbow. And after you've hit it, you want to rotate your hips around like that. So obviously you get more accuracy, more control of the ball. And you want to hit it into the opposite side from where you are, diagonally. Right, I'm just going to show you a quick demonstration of the serve shot. So I'll be throwing up the ball, and as we haven't got a ball, when it gets to the highest point, come back, keep bending your elbow, and as you come round, swerve your hips like that.
Right, the smash shot is the exact same as the serve, but you're going to use it in the middle of play. It's mainly a match-winning shot, and you're going to want to hit the ball when it's as high as you can, like a serve. You're going to want to point at the ball, and just basically hit it as hard as you can downwards, or you can try hit it at your opponent so they can't hit it back.
I'm going to talk about the drop shot. The drop shot is an offensive shot, but it can also be defensive. If your opponent's at the very back of the court, and use the drop shot to try and tire him out and get him close to the net, set yourself up for a lob shot, or you can use it to try and win the game if you use a bit of backspin on it. It's usually quite effective in winning a point.
I'm going to be talking about the lob shot, and this tends to be a sort of match-winning point shot, because when your opponent's trying to come right up to the net and trying to win the point on the drop shot, you're just going to try and lob them and try and get it over them, try and kill that match off and try and win the point.
Volley is where you hit the ball without it bouncing. You're going to want to be touching distance within the net, square on. You're not going to necessarily swing at the ball, you're just going to push into it and let the ball bounce off. You're going to angle the racket backwards to get some spin on the ball, and you can aim it to the sides, or you can perform a drop shot with it, or you can hit the opponent to the back of the court.
Second serve tends to be less power. You concentrate on the accuracy more than the power, because obviously you get a fault in the first one, you don't want to get a fault in the second one to give away a point.
I'm talking about the first tactic, which is defensive baseline shots. You usually use this tactic when you're under pressure and you need to relieve yourself from it, obviously. This would involve a lot of backspin shots to try and hold the ball up to make the opponent play bad shots, not give them a chance to play a good shot or an offensive shot.
That was an example of a serve and volley technique. You just want to try and get a good, powerful serving so your opponent can't have a good return, and you're just going to smash it at them with a volley, either dropping it or just hitting it as hard as you can, depending on the return. You're going to mainly use this when you want to win points. So if your opponent has lost a series of points and you just want to finish them, basically, that's when you use it.
Right, this is the offensive baseline tactic. This tactic is mainly used when you're a few points ahead and you're trying to kill the game off. The main shot you would use for it is top spin to try and get extra power and extra speed on it.
Just going to quickly describe the tactic of playing on your opponent's weaknesses. So for example, if your opponent has a weak backhand and they can't really return it well on that hand, then you play to the backhand quite regularly. Or if they have a bad return on a powerful serve, then you do the powerful serve as much as you can.
Tennis is played on a rectangular court, 2 people for singles or 4 people for doubles. Each player has a maximum of 1 bounce to return the ball to their opponent within the boundary lines of the court. Once a player fails to do any of these things, their opponent automatically wins the point. The aim is to win enough games to win a set and enough sets to win a match. The first person to win 6 games wins a set, but only if they're leading by 2 games.
So if your opponent wins 5 games, you need to win the set 7-5, and if it just goes to 6-6, then you'll play a tie break, which is first to 7. Usually for women it's best sets of 3, but for men it's usually best sets of 5, but sometimes men play sets of 3 in different tournaments. If it's a men's or women's single games, you can't hit it into the tram lines, but in doubles then you can hit it into the tram lines, but not on the serve. And the challenge is, it's basically, if you think a decision was called wrong, then if you think it was out, then you can challenge, and they'll use this machine called Hawkeye, and it determines whether the ball is in or out. You have unlimited challenges if you're correct, but you only have 3 wrong challenges every set. The regulation size of a tennis ball is in between 2.57 inches and 2.7 inches in diameter. The length of a normal tennis court in singles and doubles is 78 feet. The tennis court width in singles is 27 feet, and in doubles it goes to 36 feet. The net post heights are 3.5 feet, and the net height in the middle is 3 foot. Maximum diameter of cord or metal net cable is 1/3 of an inch, which is 0.8 centimeters. Maximum width of the strap for the net is 2 inches. Band for the top of the net on both sides is between 2 inches and 2.5 inches. The tennis net post diameter may not be more than 6 inches in diameter. Single sticks may not be more than 3 inches in diameter. The tennis net post and single sticks may not be more than 1 inch above the top of the net cord. Centre service line and centre mark are 2 inches wide. Other lines of tennis court between 1 inch and 2 inch. Baseline may be up to 4 inches wide.